Okay, well, this is HighCaesar again. I am going to be casting my second ever game between Eladimir and Metalfenrir. This is a pretty good Zerg versus Zerg. I've already watched it once before. And Eladimir is a mid-level diamond player who happens to be a friend of mine. And so that's why my first two casts have been featuring Eladimir. Got a couple overlords headed out and some drone scouts, and I think it's time to slow that down and we can take a look and see what sorts of things Eladimir is scouting with his drone. He's got a fast extractor here, I notice, which usually could mean a few things. It could mean either a fast lair or banelings. Or if he was planning on getting out early roaches and not running out of gas, I suppose, but usually it's an indicator of banelings or trying to go fast mutas. So Eladimir scouts around here. The hatchery doesn't see anything coming out, so he's fairly safe against fast Zergling rush. And we got a little bit of harassment by this drone, but I suppose he decides to try to escape with his life and make his way out of there before he can get taken out. So yeah, we've got a spawning pool coming out about the same time for each of these guys. No cheesy play. It seems like both of these guys are trying to play a fairly macro-oriented game. We got lots of drones here. If we want to hit the units tab, we got 15 drones of 15. 3 overlords out for Metalfenrir. But when we look at the income, it's fairly even right now. Eladimir's got 128 gas saved up, so he's a full 100 gas ahead of Metalfenrir here. He's been saving up for longer because of that fast extractor that he got out, and we see spine crawlers coming up for Metalfenrir. I guess he wants to protect his drones from any kind of Zergling aggression without actually getting any fast units out. So obviously Metalfenrir isn't planning on pumping any Zerglings of his own, seems to me. And so we'll look at the production tab here, and we already got metabolic boost coming out for Eladimir and baneling nest. So we're gonna go there's going to be some fast Zerglings and some banelings coming out, which is very standard Zerg versus Zerg, or so I hear. And if you can get some of those banelings early and your opponent is going Zerglings, you can get a huge advantage if you can get your banelings out in front. So maybe that's what Eladimir is hoping for, is to get some banelings to add to his Zergling army. So Metalfenrir decided to upgrade to a lair just after Eladimir's drone was killed off. So he didn't get to scout that a lair was coming. And if we take a look at what Metalfenrir can see, he hasn't scouted anything since he saw that early spawning pool. And so Eladimir, I think, has the scouting advantage because of these 2 spine crawlers that he sees coming up. He knows that he's pretty safe to expand. That's 200 minerals that are tied up in static defense. So Eladimir feels pretty comfortable sending his Zerglings up here. I guess as they'd serve as kind of an early warning system if anything was coming out of Fenrir's base there. And he also gets to prevent Metalfenrir from doing any kind of early expansion himself. So I think it's pretty good play. Just rally all your Zerglings up there. You don't lose anything doing it. He's keeping the map control while expanding here. and that's what you always want to do. So I have to say, it's a pretty solid opening here from Eladimir, and I like the fact that he's got this baneling nest out. He's already morphed in 6 banelings, and he's still got 120 gas saved up, so he could get more banelings if he wanted. Looks like, I mean, they get popped a bit going into those roaches there. Probably would have done a lot more damage had he come around this side and tried to attack that way. But, you know, he took out 5 drones, and if you look at the units, now he's 3 drones ahead, and we've got some damaged drones there. But Eladimir has pulled back all of his Zerglings. If he could have sent those Zerglings in to try to do some extra damage, he could have taken out 4 or 5 more drones, and at the cost of about 8 Zerglings, which is a pretty good trade. And would have liked to have seen him do that, because his 8 Zerglings aren't going to do a whole lot against these roaches here that are massing up. And he's just starting to saturate the second base here. Well, I would like to see him send the drones over. In the previous game that I commentated, actually, he didn't send his drones over. He just kind of started producing them at his expansion, and I think it's fairly standard to send about half your drones over to an expansion once you get it up and running, just so that it's less saturated at each base. And so, I mean, you want to mine these kind of evenly. You don't want to run out at one base and then just have 50 drones here at your expansion. So we got some aggression here with these Zerglings, setting them up the map. Gonna go poke up there and take a look and see what's happening. And unfortunately, they just end up getting thrown into the mouths of about 7-8 roaches. I don't think that's what Eladimir would have really wanted if he was if he was watching that. I have a feeling he would have preferred to pull back in that battle. But you got an Overlord coming up here. Overlord here, pretty good coverage. He's got Overlords covering the whole perimeter of the main base here, which would it definitely tells you if there's any mutas coming out or anything like that. So I like the Overlord placement in all, but we're starting to see like a real advantage go to Metalfenrir when it comes to the army size. I mean, you got 9 roaches against 10 Zerglings. If he pushes out, Eladimir would be kind of stuck waiting for any kind of units to hatch. He's got a good deal of money saved up though, so I mean, as long as he keeps these queens pumping in larvae, he wouldn't have to worry too much about an attack. Again, this this expansion here, it's only got 6 drones mining at it, whereas how many drones are sitting here? Almost 24 drones are sitting at his main base. So he could really be spreading these drones out a lot more. And it looks like we're seeing a mass of roaches here. On the production, yeah, we've got tunneling claws coming out for these roaches, and that is this early in the game, it's a very significant benefit. Oh, and it just finished. As soon as he gets it, he burrows down, and he's going to come up here looking to cause quite a bit of damage. We got 3 spine crawlers up, so fortunately Eladimir saw these guys coming in, and he knows there's going to be a battle coming. Producing 18 Zerglings right now. So, and 18 Zerglings is pretty good against this. It's a sizable roach force. So, because they have burrow, I would say that the advantage. I mean, Eladimir's really in a lot of trouble here, because these roaches can just, if you know, with good control, they can just burrow and heal up and then pop back out and keep causing damage.